Shadow work is about accepting the parts of us we don't like about ourselves. This can range from many different things. One example is noticing that you are very angry. Understanding why and releasing this is shadow work. The whole idea is accepting that we aren't perfect, that we have flaws. By doing this, you become whole and more mature. Shadow work isn't easy, and will begin to happen after being on self-improvement for some time. Introspection can be very rewarding, but at the same time, things can get dark for a little while. Shadow work is also about working out and healing unresolved emotions. This can be healing from emotional pain, anxiety, fear, and so on. This requires paying attention to how you feel. Spending alone time. You will begin to notice emotions coming to the surface. It's not a fun or easy process, but over a period of time you will be happier. Anxiety sometimes goes away, and you will be in the present moment more often. You will resolve a lot of unresolved emotions that needed to be dealt with. Trying to escape and find ways to avoid these feelings will make things worse for you over time. Escaping how you feel can cause mental illness, addiction, poor relationships, physical illnesses, and sometimes even cancer if it becomes out of hand. There are many ways of embracing your shadow. You could say that there are as many methods as there are people, since every person's experience with their own shadow will be a little different. The shadow consists of aspects of yourself that you have repressed, usually because you feel ashamed of them for whatever reason. Therefore, they are subconscious, and your goal is to reintegrate them into your conscious personality. It's not easy to do that, for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's really difficult to realize what these repressed aspects are in the first place because, well, they're subconscious. In Jungian psychology, the recommended method of doing so is paying attention to projections. If you irrationally hate someone, it may be because they are exhibiting behavior or personality traits that you possess but refuse to acknowledge. If you get defensive when confronted with this person, or when someone suggests you might be like this person, or when you consider if you have certain traits, that tends to be a dead giveaway. Anything you get defensive about likely is rooted in something shadow-related. A phrase I've been using lately is "we are all our own inverses." I don't think it's accurate to say that your shadow is your opposite. It's not the opposite of you. It's definitely still you, but backward. It's still too much like you to be the polar opposite of you, but it reverses your values, which makes it much more disturbing. For example, I value free will and equality. So my shadow is a tyrant who elevates and glorifies himself. Your shadow self is like a dark reflection of your conscious self. It is simultaneously everything you're not and everything you want to be. Because the shadow conflicts with your perception of yourself on such a personal level, accepting that it is you is absolutely brutal. I say that if you're not screaming in anguish, you're not doing it properly. And although I say that partially in jest, shadow work usually does cause an earth-shattering existential crisis the first time. You have to be able to take the high road and admit that your shadow is you. Embrace it and love it instead of shunning it, and that will give you control over it. The best way to deal with your shadow is to find some sort of safe outlet for it. This could be writing or creating some other kind of art like music, dance, filmmaking, acting, exercising, living out in the wilderness, exploring or traveling, etc. Once you get to know your shadow and accept it as part of yourself, you will be able to control it, and you won't be afraid of it if you encounter it in other people.